Hi, and welcome back to Hill and Putnam's Social Security Disability blog. I'm Natalia Joffrey, the Social Security Section Director.
And I'm Shelley Mark, the Senior Social Security Attorney.
So we're talking about cessation,
Yes.
and your benefits have stopped. You've now gone to a hearing, an actual hearing, not the informal hearing, but the hearing before the administrative law judge. The judge hears your testimony, reviews your medical evidence, looks at your representative, lets them plead their case.
Sure.
And then you get a decision.
Yes.
Which can be?
Well, hopefully it's going to say we have determined that you're still eligible for disability benefits. I would say more than likely if you're being reviewed and you go to a hearing and your case is approved by the judge, you want to be real careful to make sure you read the very last page, because if you're a younger individual, more than likely it is going to still say on there that they're going to review your case again in maybe 2-3 years or so. So definitely take a look and see if that's on your decision.
And then, which we always tell people, make sure you continue that medical treatment. You know, that's the most important thing that you can do while you're on benefits to prove that you're in fact disabled and should continue to be on benefits. And then we have the flip side.
Right.
What if you're denied?
So if you're denied, you're going to have a couple of options. You can file an appeal with the Appeals Council. You have 60 days from the date of the judge's decision to do that. That process, again, I know we've gone over a little before. It is lengthy. It can be about 24 months to get a decision back. If the Appeals Council agrees that there was an error made, you'll have a remand hearing with that same judge to plead your case again. The other option is to file a new claim. However, in a lot of these cases where you're having a review, more than likely you're going to have a DLI issue, which is the date last insured, which means that you may have an issue with your eligibility for the program because you've been out of work for so long that you may not meet the criteria that have you worked 5 out of the past 10 years. If that's confusing to you, you can look at some of our prior blogs about the date last insured, but you do have an option to file a new claim. You just want to make sure you're eligible.
And I think it's important to tell people, because they often say to me, what do you mean that you think you're going to go to Appeals Council? The Appeals Council, first of all, can deny you. So they can say, no, we feel that the judge's decision was correct. So
which is probably more likely, right, than not.
There needs to be an error in the law in order for them to remand the hearing or the case, or file, an approval or a denial. But remand, what I wanted to clarify is that you are going before the same judge again. So even though that's very, very counterintuitive, and actually I've realized that what confuses people is that when you go through the initial and reconsideration level, their actual notice says someone that didn't review your case and make your prior determination, this isn't the same person that's going to do it again. We're going to specifically assign your case to a different person to review it and to make your next decision. So it's different when you go past the hearing level, because actually, if you disagree with the judge, they're sending your case back to that same judge.
Right.
And that's why it's so important to have that medical evidence, have that treatment prior to going to the hearing and afterwards, because that's what they're looking at. If you don't have evidence to prove your claim,
there's nothing.
They're not going to take your word for it.
Right. And that's the thing we try to tell people sometimes, it's the only evidence that we have to produce for these types of cases are medical records. And if you're not in treatment, then we have absolutely nothing to prove what you're saying. It's impossible to prove it. They're not going to take your subjective complaints as evidence, unfortunately.
Yeah. All right. Well, thank you for joining us. If you have any questions, feel free to visit our website or call our office.
Thank you.